My name is Mila. I live in Chicago, United States, in a poor neighborhood called South Lawndale. I grew up in a very small apartment with my mother, Julia. My father was never present in my life, and I have no information about him. My mother worked night shifts cleaning offices and sometimes worked in restaurants during the day. We lived with very limited resources. Food was basic, electricity was sometimes cut off, and rent was often late. From a young age, I experienced poverty in everything: clothing, school life, and the way people in the neighborhood treated us. When I entered high school in a public school in the same area, I started trying to change my situation. I worked after school in a small store called Daily Mart on Rockwell Street. The pay was very low, but I tried to save whatever I could. In 2023, my mother became ill, and I had to increase my working hours. My life became a constant routine of school in the morning, work in the evening, and full responsibility at home. One day at work, a strange customer entered the store. His name was Eric Holmes. He was a man in his 40s, calm in speech, and he often bought simple items. He started coming regularly to the store. Over time, he began asking me about my life, my studies, and my goals. At first, I was cautious, but eventually the conversations felt normal. He told me he worked in private investment management in Austin, Texas, and that he was looking for young people to help them improve their financial situation through legal investment programs. I did not give it much importance at first. After a few weeks, he came back and told me about a small investment program designed for young people, and that I could start even with a small amount of money. At that time, I needed any opportunity. I invested my first $300, all my savings. At the beginning, I received small reported profits, and it seemed real. After 1 month, he told me that increasing the investment would increase the returns faster. I took a small bank loan in Chicago, around $5,000, and invested it into the same program. At first, numbers appeared in an online account, and everything looked legitimate. After 2 months, he said the project was expanding and that I needed to move to a larger stage. At this point, I started borrowing more money from my friend Chloe and from distant relatives. The total amount reached more than $30,000. During this period, I could see large numbers in the online account, but I could not withdraw any real money. One day, I tried to contact Eric, but his phone number stopped working. The project website disappeared completely. The office he used to meet me in downtown Chicago was closed, with no trace of him. In one moment, everything collapsed. I realized the entire investment was fake. It was only a digital front. I was left with heavy debt. The bank started demanding repayment. My friend began asking for her money back. I was in an impossible situation. I moved back in with my mother, but the situation became worse. We were at risk of eviction. I worked 2 jobs, a small store and a fast food restaurant. At the same time, I started a legal search for Eric. I discovered through the police that he used multiple identities and was part of a fraud network targeting young people in large cities. However, he was not arrested at that time. Months passed while I tried to repay part of the debt. My mother's health worsened due to stress. Sometimes I slept only 3 or 4 hours per day. In 2025, something unexpected happened. A small financial company in Chicago announced a compensation program for victims after investigations into the same fraud network. I submitted my case with no expectations. After months of review, I was approved for partial compensation. I recovered a small portion of the money, which was enough to restart my life. I left the old neighborhood and moved into a small apartment in North Side, Chicago. I started learning proper financial management and got a stable job in customer service. After 1 year, I got a training opportunity in accounting. My life began to slowly improve. Today, I am still repaying part of the old debt, but my situation is stable compared to before. And the most important lesson I learned is, Poverty is not only a lack of money, but sometimes a lack of knowledge that leaves you exposed to exploitation.